What's going on, everybody? I'm Tom Zarkadis, and this is the first episode of the Krappy Kitchen. That's right, I'm calling it the Krappy Kitchen because it's a pretty crappy kitchen. And that's pretty much where I got the name from. But today, I am going to be showing you on how to properly cook a steak. Very simple, right? Not really, obviously, because every time I go out anywhere and I order a steak, it sucks. They never season it right. They always try to marinate it in some kind of crap, and it's always never the temperature that I'm looking for. So today what I'm going to show you is how to properly season it. Forget marinade, because that's pointless. Why would you just get a shot of marinade and shoot it when you're eating it? It's the same crap. At least that way you'll actually have the flavor of the steak. You know, that expensive piece of meat that you're buying? That's right. Why get it and not have the flavor of it? Always use natural flavors. Never try to pickle your meat. Yes, that's what you're doing. You're pickling it, not marinating it. They called it marinating because pickling meat just does not sound appetizing. So today we have a nice piece of what says here, beef sirloin tip flank. Nice, of course, right from Whole Foods. That's right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, look at this. Perfectly marbled. Remember, you don't want a piece of meat that has no marbling like that because it's not going to have any flavor. Seriously, when you go to a restaurant and you order a filet mignon, that thing looks just like this. Of course, it's round and fat and you're paying a lot of money for very little. Something like this in a restaurant would cost you upwards around 50 bucks. So let's flop that sucker down. Let's get rid of this paper. Alright, now I have in front of me just regular butter spread. Asiago cheese. That's right. No Parmesan. No Romano, just shredded Asiago. I don't know if anybody's ever had Asiago cheese. It is just a very delicious flavor, especially when it's melted. We have sea salt, granulated garlic, pepper, and fresh oregano. Now, there's a huge difference between this oregano that I have my family bring to me from Greece and the oregano that you would buy in your local supermarket. That oregano that you get in that, you know, container like this is garbage. All of it. I'm sorry. Real oregano has a very distinct color. It definitely has a little bit more weight than that dried garbage you get from the supermarket. So you're going to have to go to some kind of gourmet shop or a specialty store, a very good supermarket, high-end, to get the good seasonings that are out there. If you season your food with garbage, it's going to taste like garbage. That's plain and simple, guys. So the first thing that I like to do is, just like what everybody does, salt it. Sea salt is always fatter. You can definitely see that. I'm going to do one side at a time because it's pointless to keep flipping it. And since it's powdered garlic, make sure you cover it. Remember, this is a thick piece of meat. You're not seasoning the actual inside of the meat, and you need enough seasoning on the outside of your food to, you know, balance out the part that is not seasoned in the middle. Because you're going to cut it when you eat it, and you're going to take it in full pieces. You're not just going to be eating the inside, you're going to be eating parts of the outside with the inside. So make sure you season it properly. I don't like that much pepper because any type of spices like that makes me sweat for some reason. It's not the flavor, it's what happens afterwards. Okay, let's flip it over. I'm using the fork, this way I don't have to just go wash my hands every time I want to season it. Again, we're starting with the salt. The reason why I start with the salt is because after everything's on there, like oregano, pepper, garlic, it's hard to see how much salt you're adding. So do the salt first. You're going to want to be able to see how much you're putting on. You don't want to over salt it. Remember, if anything, under season your food, because you can just add it on later. You can't take it off. Once it's on, it's on. Nice generous amount of garlic. Let's go for that evil pepper that makes me sweat. And oregano. After you season it, it almost looks like you breaded it, like it's a crust. Well, that's on purpose. Good thing about this Krappy Kitchen is I get to use gas, not an element. Using an element is fine. I just prefer gas. It's a much more even cooking. I'm using a nice skillet, solid, that is, it's not painted on. You know, this is a very good skillet. You hear that sound? If it's a very tingy sound, that's very thin, you might burn your food. The only thing that I'm going to be putting in there is butter. Now this is not real butter really, I mean it's you know, that vegetable spread, because it's a little bit healthier for you, and this one's got calcium. Always got to try to stay healthy, guys. Just because you're using butter does not mean you don't have to stay healthy. Alright, come on over here so you can see. Oh, and you want to preheat your oven. I like to preheat it to about 400 degrees. Okay, now you don't want to just throw the steak right in there because the butter's not hot enough. You really want it to sizzle when it gets in there. The whole purpose of searing the outside of your steak is to keep all the natural juices inside, all that good flavor, and it stays tender, believe it or not. Don't worry about that you're going to burn the outside. People actually pay extra for charring, so if you do accidentally leave it in too long, believe it or not, it's not going to taste bad. It's actually going to taste better, and some of you will actually find out that you're going to be like, wow, I never knew I liked it better that way. So come on over here and you can see the butter is not moving anywhere, and you don't want it to start to brown because then that means that's burnt butter. We take the whole entire steak just as is. You see? You hear it sizzling? That's what you want. If it's not sizzling when you put it in, then it's not ready. And you see I'm moving it around to try to get all the butter in there. Because believe it or not, there are seasonings that are coming off of this right now while you're cooking. And I do have it on high. I know a lot of you are out there going, hey, I don't like mine rare the way you're doing it right now. That's why I'm preheating the oven, guys. The proper way to actually cook a steak, to get it perfect, is to sear it off in a pan, make sure all the juices stay in, and then take the whole pan as is and throw it in the oven. 5 minutes later, you're going to have a very well-cooked steak. You hear that thing sizzling? You have no idea how good this smells. Until we get smell-o-vision, you're just going to have to trust me on that one. So I'm going to lift it up a little to see how my char is going. And it's just about ready to flip. And once I flip this, you'll see what it looks like on the steak. Or what I was just peeking at. See that? See how my garlic is starting to toast on it? That's exactly what you're looking for. Now yes, your meat is not going to sit flat on there. Once you cooked one side, it does start to bend and warp and stuff like that. So you will have like these side parts that you're going to say to yourself, whoa, that's not getting seared. That's not what you're really worried about. You're worried about the top and the bottom. That's where you lose everything. Oh man, I can't wait to eat this thing. It smells so good. Now you can see right here on the side that the middle is completely raw and the outside is completely charred. See that? I just want to cover this for, literally I'm going to just do this for about 30 seconds. I want the heat to be completely surrounding it. You can see all the moisture on top of this lid hitting it. There it is. See that smoke? That's all the juices bouncing back into the pan, starting to smoke. Okay, we're going to take it off. We're going to throw it all in the oven, just like that. Make sure you turn off your burner. A lot of people burn their houses down by forgetting that there, and then they start throwing things on top of the oven, and yeah, you got a fire. Alright, well basically I'm going to leave that in there for another couple of minutes because I like mine mid-rare to almost rare. You want to get in the middle of that steak to at least 135, 140 degrees. Don't be ashamed if you need to get a thermometer. The easiest way to check the temperature of a steak is using the palm method. When your thumb touches your fingertip, this part of the lower part of your thumb, this actually feels like a rare to mid-rare steak. If I was to touch that and it feels like this, it's rare to mid-rare. If I move up a finger, you're moving up in temperature now. It's going over mid-rare to medium. Medium well. And of course the pinky would be well done. It's much tougher. A lot of people do like their well done steaks, but this is the easiest way to figure it out, the palm method. Trust me when I tell you that. Alright everybody, I'm almost done with my steak. I say almost because it's not cooked all the way through the way I want it to be. But I wanted to show you, I have my shredded Asiago. Don't forget to use this. Don't think that because it's a plastic handle it's not going to be hot. It really is going to be hot. Okay, be back in a couple of seconds. Okay, let's see what our steak looks like. Does anybody see what I see right here? Here, let me give you a better look. Are you kidding me right now? Look at this thing. That's what you want. That's what you would be paying $50 for. Okay, so you're actually not done yet. There is something else you have to do. You take the whole steak as is like this, without flipping it to the floor. And it seriously has to rest here for a couple of minutes. A couple, maybe up to 4 minutes. Because right now, it's actually still in the cooking process. I mean, you probably can see, this is a very high definition shot right now. I mean, the juices are coming out of this steak. And when I touch it, it is that medium rare that I'm looking for. That I did with my palm thing. Same thing. And that is how you properly cook a steak. Thank you very much, everybody. This was the first episode of the Krappy Kitchen, how to properly cook a steak. Have a great day, guys.